Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Excited to be with you and excited to share the news with you. And, folks, I am convinced that Democrats want to lose in perpetuity. And you're saying, no, Neil, it can't be. They don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose. Folks, they're serious about running Kamala Harris again. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to show you the receipts. I'm going to show you the proof. And I don't know if you've seen any of her book tour lately, but it's absolutely comedy gold, except for the fact that she's always cussing, dropping the Effenheimer, using mother effers and all this kind of stuff. She's usually drunk. I mean, she appears drunk anyways. I don't know if she is drunk or just appears drunk. You guys tell me, is Kamala Harris drunk or does she just appear drunk? Smash that like if you would. Do chat in with where you're from. Want to see who's on the show. Michelle, thanks for modding. Agent Orange, good to have you on. Diana Coleman, Lord have mercy is right, but I am not kidding. In fact, just to show you how this is real, okay, I'm going to show you a U.S. Senator telling you that she would be the perfect choice.
Do you think that Kamala Harris would be a strong candidate in 2028?
Candidate, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, she was the nominee last time. I think
you would encourage her to run.
I think she would be incredibly strong.
Folks, Mark Kelly's a schmuck, okay, senator from Arizona. But I want you to think about this. Has he been watching Kamala's book tour where she claims to have almost beaten Donald Trump in the closest election in U.S. history? Oh, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you about that either. Hey, really quickly, I'll mention my sponsor, and I'm going to show you the receipts on that. MyPillow, folks. Use promo code Lumberjack, or just go to mypillow.com/Lumberjack for the best prices and the best sleep products available. The 6-piece towels back in stock, folks. Get yourself some. Best towels there are. The closeout sale still on the percale sheets. They are running out of those. You can see. You can go there. You don't have to take my word for it. You go there. You'll see they're starting to run out of colors and sizes. $29.88. That is a phenomenal deal, never to return again. And then the My Slippers at $39.98. I love the Rev 7. And so on. But my favorite, still my favorite, these Giza sheets, folks. Get yourself Giza sheets, man. It's going to change your life. You'll love it. Okay. But there it is. 1-800-568-2865. Again, that's 1-800-568-2865. Mike needs your support right now. He's facing more lawfare again. They come after him like, my gosh, why is that? By the way, folks, if you didn't know, Dominion was purchased by a new company, Liberty Vote. There's a lot of interesting things. I've been pulling some stuff together on that. I'm going to do a special show about this whole Dominion thing. I mentioned it before. I kind of feel like it's putting lipstick on a pig, but there's actually some signs that are really quite awesome. So I'll put that on. Yes, Cackling Kamala. Folks, here's another one. I want you to watch this. This was Kara Swisher, leftist journalist. Anyways, with Hillary Clinton on video on the book tour, Kamala Harris. Here we go.
With an expert question from someone who has a very unique insight into President Trump, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Huh. Good.
Take a look.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, do you guys honestly? Okay, so first off, I mean, because I believe that most of these politicians are character actors or method actors. Do you believe for a second, look at Kamala's face, do you believe for a second that she was surprised and did not know that Hillary would be doing this pre-recorded video appearance at the event? Just yes or no in the chat. Do you think she was surprised or no if she wasn't surprised? I'm curious to see what you guys think on that. Let's get back to it.
Oh, Kamala. Well, I know that you're on stage with Kara Swisher, and I want to know this. I debated Trump 3 times. You debated him once. He wouldn't debate you again. We beat him 4 times.
We beat him 4 times. Both of these ladies lost their elections to Donald Trump. Trump didn't need to debate Kamala again. Yeah, it's so funny because the left feels like Kamala won the debate just because she didn't totally collapse. I mean, she'd obviously prepared enough where she didn't just completely fall apart, but her answers were still not good. And obviously Donald Trump won.
Do you think we're the reason he is so unhinged today?
Oh, right.
her clapping her hands. There's just something about this woman. What is it, folks, about her that is so? Is it just that she's just so disingenuous, that she's just such a put on? I mean, look at Kara Swisher with her laughing too.
She enjoyed doing that.
We have in this president the most, not one of, the most callous, corrupt, and incompetent individuals that has ever occupied that White House.
Oh, wait. Callous, corrupt, and incompetent. Okay, so let me just think that through. Because Joe Biden was occupying the White House. She was the vice president. So, calloused. Joe Biden was the one who basically told workers he didn't give a crap. Okay, you remember this in his union tours. Okay, corrupt. His son, the business deal, Burisma, all of it, Ukraine. Okay, what was it? Callous, corrupt, and what was the other word? Hold on, I'm gonna go back a few seconds here.
That has ever occupied that White House. In this president, the most, not one of, the most callous, corrupt, and incompetent individuals.
Incompetent. Folks, whatever you would say about Donald Trump, it would be really hard to call him incompetent. He's had tremendous business success, tremendous success as president, but who was completely incompetent was Joe Biden. And as was she. Remember, she was the border czar, folks. I don't want you to forget this. She was the one. She was it. In fact, so incompetent. Folks, I don't know if you heard this, but Hitler has brought peace to the Middle East. That's right. There he is. Hitler brings peace to the Middle East out of the Babylon Bee. This is so great. Okay. Just a few days ago, in a stunning development that experts said could change the course of geopolitics for the foreseeable future, Hitler announced a historic agreement that would bring lasting peace to Israel. While historians were shocked to see that the man who was long thought to be the epitome of hatred toward the Jewish people had successfully brokered a peace treaty to usher in peace for the war-torn region of the Middle East, they had no choice but to acknowledge the positive impact Hitler was now having on Israel's fortunes. Saving and protecting Jewish people is what Hitler's all about, said one historian following the announcement of the ceasefire. We all hoped there would someday be peace between Israel and all of its neighboring Arab countries. But I've got to admit, I never would have predicted it would be Hitler who pulled it off. Well done, Hitler. You really came through for the Jews on this one. Members of the media and the public at large could hardly believe that Hitler had pulled out such a surprising peace treaty to safeguard the people. It just goes to show that sometimes it's the guys you'd least expect, said one reporter following the announcement in the White House. For the last decade, all we've heard about the guy is that he's literally Hitler. And now he's going to plunge the world into war and destruction like the first Hitler did almost a century ago. But you know what? I got to hand it to him on this one. At publishing time, the Jewish people issued a statement of gratitude to Hitler for playing a key role in their survival. Okay, do you know what's so amazing about this, folks? How many of you saw the footage? I think it was, which one was talking? Was it Steve Witkoff talking over there and thanking Benjamin Netanyahu? And so if you didn't know, Benjamin Netanyahu isn't actually that popular in Israel, right? And you guys probably saw this. And I'm curious here. What are your thoughts on Netanyahu, my audience? I don't delve into the world politics scene as much. I tend to focus more on things here in America. But Netanyahu himself and the Israeli government, good, bad, indifferent, what do you guys think? I mean, so I have things where I think they've done well and things where I think they've done bad, which I guess is most governments, but I'm just curious as to what my audience thinks on this one. So Norwood likes Bibi. Pam doesn't trust him. He's been prime minister for 26 years. What does that mean, Marby? Because he's, I mean, he got booed, at the thing. So man, look at this. You guys are about 50-50 on Bibi. So it's just interesting to me. I don't have a super strong opinion of him either way, but I will say this much. Israel's jab rate was 98%. They forced compliance on that. It is not, I will say this much, the Israeli government is not a freedom-loving government. I'm sorry. It's just a reality. If you're going to force jab 98% of your population, That's where they did most of the studies on the jab coming out of because of that. So anyways, it's just interesting to me. But let's add Kamala and Hillary back into stage.
Has ever occupied that White House. And unhinged is the least of the concerns that I have, but it ranks right up there. And, you know, the debate, look, I mean, okay, so part of it is, so what happened was, we get to Philly, and my team, they're getting me ready, and they're like, hey, boss, so we saw Donald Trump coming off the plane, coming to the debate, and Laura Loomer was on the plane with him.
No.
And so they basically
Oh, no, Laura Loomer was on the plane with him? Oh, my word.
say to me, we didn't tell you, but she's been talking about people eating cats and dogs. I was like,
How many of you saw the videos? Come on. How many of you saw? Do you think people were doing this or not?
what? And they said, we think we need to tell you because his propensity is to say the last thing he heard. And sure enough, on the debate stage, he said it. He said it.
And you were ready.
Believe it.
Yeah.
I was prepped, but not really.
Oh, folks. Okay, wait. It gets better because all this is leading to this, folks. So I want you to look at these job approval numbers, whether you believe polls or not. This is a Real Clear Politics average. Even if you believe these are fake, Trump is still leading every candidate. He's got Barack Obama beat. He's got Bush beat by a landslide. And this is only going to go up now because we have the peace deal. Okay, so if you look at this, and what's interesting is that Trump started below where Obama was and Bush was, but has been steadily outpacing them. You can see these lines diverge, and he's continued to, because people, the more they find out about Donald Trump, the more they like him, the more they experience these policies, the more they experience him bringing peace to the Middle East and so on. But hold on, it gets better. Not all polls are fake. They're not. They're just not. I throw this in, Wesquire. Some polls are fake. Not all polls are fake. And you know, and I can show you actually here. Let me go to this one. Here's generic congressional vote. Okay. Now, so you can go back here. Just put this here. Okay. So you can see where it started out. Democrats were down 1.5 points below Republicans. Okay. And this is on January 27th. So this is at the beginning of the administration. Now, we're to believe that while Trump is going up, the Republicans in Congress are going down. Now, that is possible, I suppose, because, well, let me ask this question. Let me ask you folks, how many of you are excited about the job that the Republican Congress is doing as opposed to the job Donald Trump is doing? How many of you, as conservative, most of my audience is conservatives. I know I always get some liberal trolls on and whatnot, but how many of you are excited about the job that the Republican Congress is doing? And then I want you to compare that in your mind to the job President Trump is doing. Okay, so Care Bear says we need more Republicans in Congress. I understand that. We do. But how are you guys feeling about the Republican Congress as a whole? Or do you feel Trump's just kind of carrying the load here? I really want to see your comments on this, because I can see how when you look at this, okay, and you can see the separation, that there are Republicans who are frustrated with the job Congress is doing. But I don't believe that means that they're going to make Republicans then vote for Democrats in Congress. Okay. There you go. Republicans are holding strong against the Schumer shutdown. It is rather impressive, is it not, Pam? I mean, it's kind of almost unbelievable, actually. I think Trump has taught him to get a backbone. Okay. So it's interesting. I love looking at the comments here and see what you guys have to say. But here's the bottom line. This again, you can see Democrats falling off a cliff. Why? Schumer shutdown. Right there. Schumer shutdown. By us continuing to call it the Schumer shutdown, by being labeled the Schumer shutdown, this is one thing Trump understands so well, is the labeling of things. He is taking that narrative and pinning it on the Democrats where it should be. Okay. And now he is finding a way to pay the military. Now, what's really awesome about that is once he reallocates those funds, the Democrats are going to cry foul. Okay. And we just explain how this is going to work because it's obvious. The Democrats are going to say that Trump did some dastardly deed, ignored them, ignored the Constitution. Do you guys all see this? Do you guys see this coming? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. This is what they're going to say when he pays the military. They're going to be upset. And how is that going to make them look? So you're saying the military shouldn't get paid. Do you guys see how phenomenal of a job he is doing at forcing their hand? Something that we haven't seen a Republican Senate, Republican Congress, or Republican president do before. He's just completely owning them. And yeah, the military is essential. So why wouldn't the military be getting paid anyways if we're only eliminating non-essential? So I think it's really awesome that he is doing this in such a way that's going to box them into a corner where they have to oppose him again. I just keep thinking of all those memes, where it's got Trump in a magician's hat. And then now the next one is going to be, watch as I now get the Democrats to come out against paying the military. That's what's going to happen. Okay. All right. Let's go to this one now, because I love this. So if you guys ever read Miranda Devine, those of you who follow my channel know she's one of my favorites. One of my favorite pieces of all time was when Miranda Devine did the thing about Nancy Pelosi and her love for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris's flaws on full display during her Tour de Farce book tour. Kamala Harris is on a ridiculous 15-city international book tour, during which she tells the gullible women who line up for hours to see her that she only missed on being president by a whisker. She claims 2024 was the closest presidential election in the 21st century. Everyone knows this is a lie, as Donald Trump said in a heated Truth Social post listing the details of his landslide victory. He won the Electoral College 312 to 226, won counties nationwide by 2,600 to 525, won all 7 swing states, and won the popular vote by millions. Harris's claim that she almost won is Biden-level delusion. It's a reasonable assumption that she is using her self-justifying 107 days in book tour with her cameo appearances by the likes of Hillary Clinton as a springboard for another kamikaze run for the White House. I'm telling you, she's running, folks, and they're supporting her. I showed you that at the beginning. Mark Kelly's lining up. Oh, she'd be a great candidate. But last week, when asked point blank on stage in Washington, D.C., whether she would be a presidential candidate in 2028, she was coy. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not, methinks. Harris's flaws as a candidate have been on full display in her book tour. The inappropriate laughing like a hyena, the painfully inarticulate word salad, the constantly shifting accents and effects. It is clear that this is a person with no concrete sense of self, a woman who has been gifted jobs and flubbed every one. Wait, she was gifted jobs? Why was she gifted jobs? What caused her to be gifted jobs, folks? Why would they gift her jobs? You can comment on that. Dem women a mess. And yet the Democratic Party is heading. And yet the way the Democrat Party is heating, these impediments may not mean a thing. Blunders and character flaws that would have disabled candidates just 10 years ago are shrugged off and excused, especially when it comes to entitled liberal women with low self-esteem who seemingly can do no wrong. When the repellent Katie Porter, Democrat frontrunner in the 2026 California gubernatorial race, was exposed last week in an unhinged bully with anger management issues in a viral on-air meltdown during a CBS Sacramento interview, the sisterhood rushed to excuse the inexcusable. Liberal and union luminaries praised the 51-year-old three-time Congresswoman as strong and tough and the gutsy leader California needs to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. Porter was just, this is so funny. Joy Bear said Porter was just having a menopausal moment. She said that on The View before turning the criticism to Trump. And Whoopi Goldberg said, maybe she's just having a bad day. Gee, Porter must have a lot of bad days, judging from leaked videos showing her swearing at staff and abusing them for minor transgressions. She had to have anger management classes after dumping a bowl of steaming hot potatoes on her ex-husband's head. The father of her 3 children subsequently claimed in their divorce that she was prone to extreme anger and unpredictable and unstable with a history of snapping and screaming at him and the children. Not the sort of person to whom you would give enormous power as a governor of our richest state, but Porter clearly appeals to the AWFL, or awful, cohort of Democrat voters, affluent, white, female liberals. Another star of the post-Hillary generation of aspiring awful leaders is Abigail Spanberger, a former CIA operative who is now the front runner to be Virginia's next governor. Okay. And folks, I'm telling you, I mean, if you haven't seen her in the debate and everything, this woman Spanberger, she's terrible. She's terrible. And they get promoted. I mean, so this is what's going to happen. But the problem is now, especially now, because Donald Trump is kicking out the illegals. I mean, we're going to have the vote going away. We're going to have a new census done, giving us more congressional seats and also reapportioning the electoral college vote as it needs to be done. All this stuff is going to happen, and liberals aren't going to be able to win elections at all. So they can continue to elevate these people, the worst of them, and they're not going to win. It's crazy. It's crazy. While she is more polished than Porter, her refusal to disavow or withdraw her endorsement of Democratic ally Jay Jones suggests a moral callousness that belies her carefully cultivated image as an empathetic woman and mother. In this assassination era, it should have taken every Democrat exactly 1 millisecond to denounce Jones, who is running for AG on the Democratic ticket with Spanberger, and force him out of the race after text messages were revealed in which he expressed violent threats to murder a Republican rival and his children. Instead, Dems think they can ride out the scandal. In a previous era, older women used to uphold basic moral standards for younger generations to follow, but liberals have dispensed with such feminine relics, priding themselves on being even tougher and more ruthless than the men in their pursuit of power. That's why Kamala is constantly using the Oppenheimer. Harris's sins are more mundane. She is simply a woefully inadequate candidate whose every vapid utterance reminds us that she has been elevated well beyond her abilities for reasons that are not immediately evident. Of course, they may actually be more evident than we're thinking. Okay. But here, I found a good piece by a person called The Liberal Patriot. I didn't know that existed. Anyways, but that's beside the point. Listen to this. Democrats are losing the culture war. It's because of people like Kamala. The first year of Trump's second term has been marked by a broad and growing assault on progressive values, norms, and practices. Okay, first off, that's BS, but understand we're reading from a liberal. But you need to just stick with me on this one. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay, because he points out some really good things. The administration regards everything associated with DEI, positive discrimination, and other expressions of woke social justice as an anathema. Public and private institutions promoting such ideas have been subject to federal investigations and financial penalties. Aghast Democrats and allied advocacy groups argue this intimidation leaves no doubt about Trump's autocratic motives. But their case has thus far, so all this is BS. It's what you'd expect from a liberal. But listen to this. Their case has thus far proved ineffective. The broader public is increasingly concerned by Trump's draconian immigration measures and his deployment of the National Guard troops in the U.S. cities to deter crime. Let me ask you folks, how many of you are upset about Donald Trump restoring order by utilizing the National Guard and deporting illegals. How many of you have a problem with this? Again, please smash that like. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Love to have you on board. We got a great group of folks over here. Okay. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for saying hi. Yet it remains uninspired by Democrats' appeal to stand up for democratic values, which in the minds of a cynical and disaffected voters implies a socio-cultural agenda no less partisan and ideological than Trump's. So here's the thing. They're saying that, or what this guy's saying, the liberal patriot is saying, is that the Democrats aren't making a convincing case and the people feel that they're just as bad, if not worse, than Trump. It's interesting. This shouldn't come as a surprise to progressive activists. If wokeness isn't exactly in full retreat, its popular support undeniably plummeted during the Biden era. Extensive polling, the surprising diversity of Trump's 2024 coalition, and the share of minority voters who voted for Biden in 2020 but didn't go to the polls last November all indicate there are millions of working Americans who think Democrats don't share their priorities. No kidding. Though some research suggests wokeness is a minor issue for swing voters today, the official stance taken to represent it, among them elite support of mass migration, trans activism for kids, and inculcating schools and businesses with anti-racist and decolonial practices, clearly damaged the Democratic brand. This is a liberal admitting that all this has damaged the Democratic brand. This is where they went too far too fast, because Mike Lindell said it the other day on the show, evil is greedy. When voters say Democrats are out of touch, the elevation of identity politics and relatively niche beliefs over populist economics is an obvious factor. Given these hurdles, is it possible for left populist and chastened progressive to chart a middle course on culture, run credible enough to win over some portion of wage earners who disdain or have become illusioned with wokeness, but which the left can accept? A lot will depend on whether Democrats come to terms with the cultural dissonance at the heart of modern progressivism. Progressives who grasp that Democrats lost the plot sometime after George Floyd protests and COVID tend to focus on rhetorical excesses. Yet more costly than any single position related to progressives' most valorized causes have been the impression that progressivism is fixated on subverting and supplanting traditional norms without regard to the consequences. However inconsistent this impression may be with the standard social welfare goals of the average House Democrat, if it has distorted the public's understanding of what the National Party stands for. So again, they still don't get it. They still don't get it. They're supporting a Kamala Harris run. They are not willing to give up on their woke BS. And this is why they're going to lose in perpetuity for the near future. It is absolutely crazy how foolish the Democrats are. Okay. It blows my mind. Just blows my mind how foolish they are. I mean, it's like they cannot read the tea leaves at all. At all. I saw a comment here. Where was it? Everybody's saying Laura Reynolds is a troll. And here's what she says. I'm voting for her because Trump spent too much time lying and being a sellout to produce a one-party country. Oh my gosh. It doesn't even deserve a response, folks. Doesn't even deserve a response. Anyways, I love you. I'll keep fighting the good fight. Again, please go support my sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack. Folks, get some of those Giza sheets. I'm serious. They're life-changing. You won't even want to get out of bed. They're so awesome. But also, too, if you're looking for a great gift and you don't want to get Giza's, $29.88 for percale. Once they're gone, they're gone. The My Slippers, you'll love them. The towels, absolutely the best towels known to man. So, folks, thanks so much for joining me on this Additional lumberjack logic. I find it very interesting that they actually think Kamala Harris is a viable candidate. And it's just wild. Wild to me. Anyways, you guys are great. Best audience on YouTube. Oh, by the way, real big announcement. You guys know George Behizzy. He's got a new channel. Yeah. They let him back on. Let me see here. I'll show you guys. Michelle, you could even post it if you want to. I think it's called George AA. I mean, I subscribe to it. Let's see. Yeah, here. George dot a dot a George a dot a dot. Here, let's see. I can put this in the chat for you. So George now says he's doing it. He's gonna go elk hunting now. He's serious. If he gets to a couple 100,000 subs, he'll go with me. We'll see. We'll see. There he is. There's George. Oh no, I put it in the wrong place. Dang it. Here we go. There you go. You can go give George a sub now. He's back. He's back. So anyways, we'll go see you guys on the next episode. All right. Love y'all. Peace out.